And here I'm going to go ahead and turn the car on so you can hear the annoying squealing sound that this old blower motor makes constantly while driving. It's increased as the AC is increased, and reduced as the AC is reduced, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and start the car. And it's coming right from the passenger side below the glove box. You can hear it, the squealing and squelching increases and decreases, but it's just annoying. Increase the AC here. Well, there the fan kind of muffles it out, but you should be able to hear it enough to know that it's annoying as heck. Alright, so here's the part. AC blower motor, compatible with the make, model, and year of the car that you have. You want to certainly confirm compatibility here. Again, this is a 2008 Mercedes-Benz CLS 550, and this is exactly what the unit looks like. It's got a plastic housing, spins. There's your plastic housing. There's a motor inside, and here's the spindle. It's got the 4 mounting points, and this here spindle that runs right through the middle of it. That's what, in my case, is squealing very annoyingly. Alright, now for the removal of the existing unit, you're going to need to make space in which to work. So you certainly want to go ahead and move that passenger seat as far back as you can, and then you want to remove the mat as well. Then you're going to need to go ahead and peel back the carpeting underneath. Alright, what you're going to need here at this point is a Torx T20 sized tool to remove the 2 Torx bolts that secure this plastic shroud underneath the glove box on the passenger side. So let me go ahead and get those removed, and then I can bring this shield down and out of the way. Alright, with the 2 Torx screws removed, I'll go ahead and bring this shroud down and lower it out of my way. Notice you've got the little bulb here for the light, and there's like an insulation here, and there's some wiring as well, so be careful about interfering with that as you work to access the old mounting screws for the existing blower. To better facilitate working in such tight quarters, you might want to remove this piece altogether, and there's just a couple of wires that go there, one of which is looks like it goes to the phone unit, a base unit, whatever. I don't use a phone here in this car, so it's a regular, like a phone cord, RJ11 style cord. Looks like an Ethernet cord, whatever. And there's also the little harness that goes to the light. Just like a little clip, depress it and remove it. And then that section can be removed, or at least taken out of the way. There's another cable in the back, and that can probably be unclipped as well. I'm going to see if I could deal without having to fuss with that. Beneath the lower cover shroud, there's a cover, a plastic cover that needs to be removed in order to get to the blower. And there's 4 screws in recesses at each corner. Those will need to be removed as well. Alright, with the screws removed, and there's 4 of them, I actually dropped one. With the screws removed that hold the plastic cover in place, there's also a little wire that you want to unclip. It goes under a couple of little tabs there in the plastic, and then there's a little clip there. You want to unclip that, and then you want to remove that cover. Alright, you can then go ahead and drop that cover down. Just keep in mind that there is a wire and wiring harness that passes through an opening in that from underneath. So that will need to be reconnected. Alright, then we have access to the bottom of the old blower. And you're going to see that there are 4 screws that need to be removed in order to remove the old unit. It's a tight spot to work in, but it can be done. Alright, I'm going to see if I can give you a better perspective of where the screws are that need to be removed. Here you've got one in the right, rear, one in the front, another one in the front, and another one in the left rear. Fairly accessible. Alright, and here's the old unit. One thing I need to mention is that keep in mind as you're removing those 4 screws that hold the old unit in place, gravity will cause it to fall downward. So keep in mind there. Now what we have to do is we have to transfer the electronics here. I think this is a regulator from the old unit to the new unit, which comes shipped without it. And here, just taking a look at this old unit, it gets pretty dirty here in the fins, dust, and you can see that spindle in the middle. You see how it's orange and rusty, and that's very likely contributing to the squealing sound, aside from just general wear and tear, perhaps ball bearing related or so forth. So what it is just simply a couple of Torx screws, again, T20, and we're going to go ahead and remove this and install it on the other section, the new piece. Alright, here's the assembly here from the old blower motor. The 2 Torx screws have been loosened up, and then it's just a matter of disconnecting and pressing on the clip to remove the old wire. Now keep in mind there's another little area here, a clip, where the other wiring harness connects into that passed through the lower plastic cover that we first removed when we were trying to get to this old unit. Alright, I'm connecting the regulator from the old blower fan motor to the new one. A couple of number 20 Torx screws. And one on the other side here. And once you do that, you want to go ahead and make sure you get the clip, the wiring clip, and you connect it in such that it fits snug. There you go. Now I'm just going to go ahead and finish tightening these Torx screws here, and then it will be ready for installation back into the car. Just make sure it's tight, secure. Okay, check all the connections, make sure they're secure. And we're going to go ahead and line this back up and get it in the car. Using a combination of extreme patience, severe yoga, and other contortions, plus holding a flashlight in your mouth while trying to access these screws and screw them in blindly, you should meet a certain level of success. And I'm very glad to say I was able to get this in here. And the screws, the 4 screws in the corners, are tightened. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the plate or the cover back in position, and I'm going to make sure that I reconnect the wiring harness. So hopefully we're on the home stretch here. Alright, you will notice that the cover, before you replace it and screw it back in, it has a corner, a semicircular corner, a rounded corner. That corner is the farthest, or the right front, right forward portion when you reposition this back underneath the newly replaced blower fan motor. So keep that in mind. Also, you want to ensure that the wiring harness is still emerging through, because you're going to need to connect that in. In fact, you're going to want to do that first. Connect the wiring harness before you start to secure this cover. Very thankfully, the new blower motor is in position. It's screwed in. The cover is in place over it. The wiring harness is connected. Now, before I put this cover back, this insulated cover, I'm going to go ahead and connect the 2 items that I disconnected. One of which was this particular cable here into the box that it connects into. And the other one is for the light. Might need to move this around a little bit so that you have enough slack so you can reconnect that clip. And you should get the affirmation of a click. There you go. So you just want to go ahead and settle this back in position, replace the floor mat, and then power the car on and see the result of your hard work. Alright, once the final covering is in place and in position and tucked in properly, you want to go ahead and line up and secure the 2 screws that hold it in place. So, sure everything's tight and secure. That's one. And here's the other 2 of 2. All right, boy, am I thankful this job is done. Not easy fitting a large frame in a small area. All right, and the ultimate test will be turning the car on and listening. Let's go ahead and give it a go. All right, turn up the air. It's blowing. And I'll know if it ain't working here in South Florida. All right, I'm not hearing anything. The temperature's much down here. And not hearing that squealing here. I know the real test will be over the course of the next several weeks, but I think we'll call this a successful project. Thanks for watching. I'm hoping this helped you out in case you decide to embark on a project like this one. Best of luck to you. Leave some comments below. Thanks so much.